So now we come to the application process. The application process, we have covered three. One is the roller coating or the roller printing, the other is the screen printing, and the third is the digital print. Now, before we go on to how we apply these inks onto the glass, there are certain things that need to be taken care of. The ink storage needs to be between 20 to 30 degrees, which in India, which is a warm climate, the temperatures may go up to 45, is a problem. So, temperature above 35 will start to deteriorate the ink. The pigment will start to settle down in the ink basket, and you'll see a medium deposit on top of the ink layer, and this will result in inconsistent printing. So, we need to store inks in a cool and dry place. That means even refrigeration or maintaining a temperature between, if not 20 to 30, a little bit more than 30, maybe a couple of degrees, no more. It is essential, otherwise you'll not get consistent results. So, the printing areas where the print has to be done has to be as dust free as possible. I've seen certain print areas which are completely dust free, because the deposition of this dust on the glass surface or on top of the ink will later lead to pinholes and defects when the glass is tempered or fired. The substrate, the glass, has to be very clean. Now, a lot of the times there are salt deposits which are not visible by the naked eye if the glass is not cleaned well. And when we print it and when the firing of the glass happens, these watermarks or these salt deposits are visible. At that time, you may have lost a lot of glass and you will have no way to repair it. So, it is best to clean the glass well before we start to print. The other essential is checking the tin side. Now, when you're using float glass, there are two sides of the glass. One side is the air side and one is the side which is floating on the tin bath. Now, tin is a metal. Some of the inks don't react too well with tin. So, it's essential to print on the air side, and all the glasses have to be printed on the air side. Otherwise, you'll get a color variation, or you might get something called a bloom or a color difference in the print. Other than that, always use the same glass. I know there are many brands of glass available, so it doesn't matter which one you use. Just use the same glass, because there will be a color variation because of the tint of the glass, and also ensure that it is from the same furnace. So, if a glass manufacturer has 3 furnaces, make sure it's coming from the same one. You don't want a color variation due to this. So, these are certain preconditions before we start to print the glass. So, the next process is roller printing. A roller printing line is essentially a washing section which will wash the glass to clean it properly, and then there will be something known as a roller printer, which will apply a solid coat of a single color on the glass, and then there would be a drying section which will dry the ink, and you will get a uniform coat of any color that you are printing on the glass with an even deposition of ink. This deposition of ink can be controlled. The drying section, it is quite long at times. It will depend on the speed of the line. So, if the speed of the line is 7 meters per minute, which is quite fast, you will need the glass to be dried off before we take it off the line. So, that would mean that the line would be designed according to the speed of the roller printer. So, it does take a little bit of space. So, the line speed and the deposition of ink, the thickness of the deposition of ink, will determine the size of the drying section. So, what is a roller coater? So, roller coater is essentially a rubber roller which will, it may be steel as well, but in case of glass, normally we use a rubber roller to transfer the ink onto the glass surface. Now, in this kind of a roller, normally a single color is deposited. The rubber rollers, as I explained, have grooves, and the grooves will carry the ink, which on contact with the glass will deposit the ink onto the glass surface. There is also a steel roller which sort of attaches itself to the rubber roller and controls the amount of ink that's going through, and a scraper will clean the roller as the ink goes through. There can be certain rollers which have certain patterns as well. So, there are, like in the image you can see certain patterns on the roller. So, you can also have patterned glass through this roller coating process, and you can transfer this pattern onto the glass. The same roller coating process can also be used for organic inks such as lacquers, and is commonly used for that application as well. The rollers are, grooves can be customized. So, there can be more grooves or there can be less grooves, as is shown in the image. A 20 lines per inch groove would give a higher opacity of print, and a 55 lines per inch will give a lower opacity of ink. So, the maximum that you normally print is 100 microns, which is what we call a high opacity print. Any more and you will start having problems during the firing process, and 40 to 50 microns would be the lower end on the low opacity ink deposition. So, it depends on the application on which the glass is going. For example, if it is going on a wall cladding, you need a high opacity print, you need a 100 micron deposition, and with certain lighter colors, even that 100 micron deposition may not be sufficient. So, you have to choose the right ink with the right pigmentation, and in certain applications organic inks are better where they are more opaque. The use of the ceramic ink for wall cladding is where it can resist UV, where a light is coming on to the glass, or when it needs to be tempered. Certain applications the glass will break and you need the glass to be tempered, and there you need to use a ceramic frit. So, rollers are use water soluble inks. If you use solvent based inks, it is far too expensive to clean the rollers. Every time you are finished with a color, you need to clean the rollers with water. So, water soluble ink is easy to clean. It will come off the grooves with a simple jet of water, and it is environmental friendly. So, it's a much easier way of processing. Viscosity of ink will depend on the pigmentation of the ink. It will depend on the color which you are printing. The darker colors may require less viscosity, the others may require more. The mixing ratio normally is 100 to 60. That means when you get the ink, you have to add a certain amount of medium to the ink, and then you measure it. What is the viscosity? How do you measure the viscosity? You can use a viscometer. A popular brand is the Brookfields viscometer, which will give you how thick the ink is, or you can use a very simple method which is known as the Ford cup, where you put a amount of ink in the Ford cup and you let it drain, and you see how much time it takes for the ink to drain. So, based on that you can measure whether it is 80 seconds or 100 seconds. So, normally a 80 to 100 second ink is sufficient for roller coating. In certain application, lighter colors, if the pigmentation is lesser, you may need to go for higher viscosity, which means that if you go 200 seconds, that means the ink is thicker, and the deposition will be the same, but the ink viscosity will be more. So, this is essential for determining the opacity of the print, which is essential in roller coating, and it will also determine how the ink is rolled onto the coater, and this will determine how it is then passed on to the glass substrate. So, applications such as these where it is going on a wall, we recommend that you use a high opacity roller, go for a 100 micron deposition, and the viscosity of around 80 to 100, although parameters vary according to the inks that you use. And you can have a nice and even print where you cannot see the silicon while it is being pasted, which is the essential requirement for this process. So, as soon as you print the ink, it has to be dried, because you are doing a thick deposition of ink. Dust will come and settle on the glass, and dust, when it settles on the glass or on the ink, it will show up when you fire the glass in the furnace. So, you need to dry it off as quickly as possible. The other reason is that it takes a long time for the ink to dry. So, when you unload the glass of the machine, there is a chance that the frit gets damaged. So, the sooner it gets dried off, the better adhesion it will have on the glass, and the lesser chances it has to deteriorate while handling. So, normally the dryers that are used use infrared heating, and you also heat the glass and then you cool it. So, it is essential to cool it to be able to handle it, and if you just heat it and let it be, that then there can be other problems as well. So, the line speed can be controlled, and essentially the fastest you can go is 7 to 8 meters. So, the drying length would be determined accordingly. You can have more heating sections or more cooling sections depending on the type of glass that you print. There are certain applications, glass shelves, spandrel panels, which may require low opacity prints, and there you may not require a very long dryer if the ink deposition is lesser.